Millions of times, a local pastor surprised a random pizza delivery driver with an incredible tip during a church service.
I need 10 people who will also give a tip to Monique. I just want you to stand up, 10 people, real quickly, okay? We just want to tip you. We want to bless 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 you.
I'm a single parent, and I'm not ready for kids, and I'm trying to do my best, and I thank God so much.
Pastor Choco told Monique Hall that God chose her to be there that day. The pastor and Monique are joining us here this morning. Good morning. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
I have to ask you first, Monique, because I watched the whole thing and you seemed kind of still for a while until people started bringing up the money. What were the thoughts going through your head?
I was nervous.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why so many people had stood up just for a pizza delivery person. I definitely wasn't expecting it, but I knew that I had been struggling for a long time, and being a single parent and not having the father in their life, it takes a real damper on you, especially trying to make ends meet.
Yeah.
So when they did that, I was overwhelmed. And I was shocked, and I felt so loved by them. All I could do was cry.
Mm. Pastor Choco, tell us, how did you get this thing going? I know you've been teaching on honoring people. Tell us the background on it.
Well, we realized, we at New Life Covenant realized that this element of honor has been missing in our culture. And a lot of the problems that we're facing in our culture, if you really get to the root of it, is because this lack of honor. Way before Letterman had his top 10, God already had his top 10. In the book of Exodus. And one of the things at New Life and all of our campuses was to honor people. So at the 8:30 service, we honored an 8th grader who had perfect attendance. At the 10 o'clock, we honored a basketball coach from Roberto Clemente High School. And then this young lady, the first time I met her was on Sunday, and today was the second time. And so out of that came out of this idea about honoring people. If we can just bring this back into our culture, we believe that life would be a little bit different of just honoring people, honoring our government, honoring God and our fellow man. And so this is a byproduct of that. And if you notice in the video, and those that are watching, that honoring is contagious. It's contagious, because all I asked was for 10 people, and really I just thought about that there at the 12 o'clock service. Let's see what happens when I say to the church, hey, can I get 10 people? And you saw the response of that.
And Monique, I understand that, did you share some of that money?
Yes, I did.
Why?
I feel like some of my coworkers was just the same as me in the same place. So I felt like it was only right to give to them since I was given to. And I love giving to people. I don't have a lot, but the little that I do have, I still share it. I only share it because I know what it feels like. I've been homeless with my kids. And during the winter time, which is like the worst time to be homeless, so I understood. And I felt like God was speaking to me to say, share with somebody else. Let them know that somebody still cares for them. So I did. And I didn't regret it. And it made me feel so much better that I didn't take all that money for myself, that I shared it with somebody else. And that meant a lot to me.
Choco, when you hear that, what do you think? I mean,
Well,
what's going
I'm
on
just
in
excited because I taught in the month of February that honoring is reciprocal. And what she did is exactly that. Leaving out of the church, going in her car and thinking about the other employees is exactly how as a society. It just brings me joy to see this. But to all the new lifers out there that even responded as a pastor, as a shepherd, to see that people are getting this message of honoring folks. And she doesn't even attend our church. This is my second time meeting her today. But for her to do it, it just speaks volume that this can happen in our culture. We could honor one another, love on each other. So it brings a lot of joy to me, Paul,
That's awesome.
just to see her response this way.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of, look at the Pew Religion poll, and it shows a lot of people are kind of going away from organized religion. Maybe they're spiritual or they're non-denominational. What are you doing to try and capture people's attention?
I think that as a church, we need to be like Jesus, to be in the life of people. When Jesus got into the boat of Peter, he was essentially getting into his culture, into his livelihood. And as a pastor, we need to get into the lives of people. This is not, we run a shelter for homeless men. We run a farm for women that are caught up in human trafficking and prostitution. As a church, we're constantly trying to give so that we can come against this idea in our culture that there's not good people out there. And as a pastor, my responsibility is to bring the good news of the gospel, not just saying it, but demonstrating it so people can see it.
Well, thank you for being here, Monique. Thank you for being here as
Thank
well.
you.
It's great to
Thank
meet
you.
both of you. And then the pastor has a new book out next month called Move Into More, The Limitless Surprises of a Faithful God. Thank you very much.